Hi, I'm Michael Wood, Executive Chairman of Sendero Resources. We're a junior exploration company in the Vicuña district, exploring the Peñas Negras project, copper-gold porphyry system.
Michael, good to speak to you. And I've seen your name around a bit. You sit on a few companies that I recognize. Can you start by maybe introducing yourself to everyone? What have you done that's relevant to what you're trying to do here?
Yeah, sure. Been involved in the space for a few years now with a few companies, Reina Silver, Casio Gold, a couple of companies. So, really focus on trying to get good quality assets where we can make a meaningful discovery. That's kind of the strategy that we've been based around. So, Sendero, I'm very excited about. We got a nice piece of land in the Vicuña district. It's become very prominent over particularly the last 2 or 3 years with some world-class discoveries up there by the Lundin group of companies. So yeah, very excited with the project. Done a lot of prep work going into this initial drill program, and we've just completed our first maiden drill program on the project.
Right. Okay. So you're in the right part of town. Argentina, which some people have views on, but right on the border of Chile. You say Lundin's up there with Fila and Caserones, etc. But how did you pick this asset up? Why have you got it?
Yeah. So the gentleman that is our CEO, Hernan Vera. He ran Barrick in Argentina, ran Yamana, ran Anglo Gold Ashanti. He privately bought the asset back in 2018. So we did a JV with him back in 2021 to form Sendero, where he put in the asset and we put in the initial capital. So we've been working on the asset since March 2021. We went public last October 2023, and just started drilling in January 24.
Right, okay. So all relatively new and shiny at the moment. Now, you kind of shot out of the gate quite quickly. Expectations were high, possibly based on what your neighbors are up to. Market's going to come off a bit off the back of the announcement of some drill holes. Why do you think that is? And how do you view the results of that drilling?
Yeah, look, I think the market has unfortunately been a bit underwhelmed by what we've hit. I think there was it was a blessing to be in Vicuña, but now maybe a little bit of a curse that we haven't lived up to the neighbors, right? And the stellar drill holes that they continue to produce. So that's, I think, unfortunately resulted in a pretty heavy sell-off over the last kind of 2 or 3 weeks since we put out initial drill results. But we're very, internally we feel we're making a major discovery, right? We've learned a lot about our La Gita target. We've learned when we started drilling there this year, there was some historic drilling done by Eldorado back in the mid-90s, and we knew there was some reasonable epithermal gold intercepts. Right now, we've learned that this high-sulfidation epithermal system is telescoped and it's in a lithocap environment, right? So 3 major learning points that we've picked up in this maiden drilling. So a key thing to understand about these lithocaps, and like Filo is a lithocap, Pascualama was a lithocap not too far away. When you get a mineralized lithocap, it's always had a major feeder system coming into it, the feeder zone, which is generally where the bonanza-grade stuff is. The higher grade mineralization comes out, then it disperses into this lithocap bed. So look, what we're trying to get across is, look, the holes we've hit are good. Like, we're pleased with them. They're not blockbuster holes by any stretch of imagination. We understand that. But we believe they're very economic where we are, assuming that we have the scale and we have the higher grade parts of the system, right? So in this lithocap structure, you will have higher grade parts of the system. So now we understand that. We want to vector in to understand where the feeder zone is and the higher grade part of that system. And that would obviously transform the potential and the valuation of the asset. So look, we've learned a lot, Matthew. I think it's slightly disappointing reaction, but I think, as people digest it, they'll see good entry point on potentially a world-class discovery.
Right. And I'll remind people, some of the best discoveries in the world of, first 6 holes have been dusters, quite frankly. So you're not in that category yet, but it's early days. It is going to require continued investment. That's the nature of exploration. You raise money, you drill, you raise money, you drill. It's been a pretty difficult market for juniors, for explorers, specifically. Do you think if we look at, forget where you started, forget expectations out of the gate, but if you look at what you've got, is there enough there to interest new money? Yeah,
I believe so, Matthew. I think it's just the cost of what that money is, right? And look, I think, we have to assess now, we're finishing the program, the options on the table for us to refinance the company and go back and do a bigger program is what we'd like to do now. So, we need to get a decent amount of capital. And we have, the equity market, and we have potential JV angles as well. That's how we're kind of looking at this as well. Potentially, the equity market is still quite depressed for juniors. So it is a very expensive cost of capital. So maybe, we need to try and finance at the asset level is another option. But we'll see how the market digests once we get more. People, I think, have just seen the news. Let's see how it digests over the coming days and weeks, and take it from there, and then assess, the best plans to recapitalize the company over the next 6 months. We don't need the money tomorrow. And then, we go back in the spring Argentinian period starting October, and we hopefully have the resources to do a much bigger program and really get our teeth into this discovery at La Gita.
Right. Okay. And let's look at the rest of the assets that you've got. I mean, in terms of just, constant conversation is around, being able to stay in the game, right? It's like I say, it's very difficult markets for juniors. It always has been. It's just the nature of the beast, but particularly in this market. So you've got to stay in the game. But you also got to leverage what you can in terms of the assets, and get focused and have the best, most efficient allocation of capital. So if you look at the options available to you, you mentioned one of them there in terms of maybe getting an investment at the asset level. What are the other ways that you sort of kind of drum up non-dilutive funding to kind of advance this project at whatever level that you think you can?
Yeah, I think for us, if we could get in a strategic partner, it's a big property in a prime location, right? And it's going to take a lot of resources and a lot of expertise. And that's the way we're looking at it. The management, like me and Hernan, we want to make sure we have the resources and the expertise to do a proper job of this exploration. And that's the focus, right? So if it's a case of, we do a JV at the asset level, or we could get a strategic to come in at the corporate level, I think that's something we'll be very keen on. And I think also the market would like it, right? It gives a stamp of validation on the project. And I think the market has been underwhelmed by these initial results, unfortunately. So I think that would also help to validate the project potential to the market over the coming months is also something, that we're definitely working hard to push forward behind the scenes.
Right. Okay. And let's kind of get onto the asset, and let's be really clear about what you've got. You say you're learning a bit, and you kind of got three big learnings in there. When people start mentioning porphyries to me, it just feels like a very expensive drilling program ahead of us, because they're hard to identify, they're hard to locate, they're hard to work out, but it definitely requires a lot of drilling, and your neighbors have spent a lot of money on this. For you, clearly getting a strategic partner at asset level is part of that solution. What are the other? I just want to be clear. What are the other options available to a company like yours, even if you're not in a rush?
Yeah, I think we keep doing smaller programs funded by the capital market. I think we've learned a lot from this small program we've just done. I think we feel now we've got a great understanding where the high grade material could be, and we could get higher grade holes, right, which the market would excite the market and hopefully make us a darling of the market and give us more access to capital, right, at a less diluted price. So that's one option, Matthew. We just keep the small scale program.
Explain that to me.
Yeah,
let's explain that to me. So the small scale, but high grade, great. Why do you think you have the data now to be able to identify higher grade? How do you do that?
Yeah, we've got two pretty compelling targets where the feeder system could be that we really want to test, right? We've got two big magnetic anomalies right in the middle of the lithocap zone. They're good, pretty compelling targets that could be big porphyry intrusive coming up that being the feeder into the lithocap. So we really want to test those. And they're not actually too deep, Matthew, both starting about 150 meters from surface. So, we're getting into the heart of it with not too much meterage. So, yeah, there's definitely key targets that we want to test SAP. We wanted to test them on our final two drill holes this season, but we had difficult drilling conditions and then the snow came. Didn't get to do it. And that has to wait now till next season. So, yeah, two very compelling targets that we want to test. And then also we want to navigate out the bottom of this lithocap. It's a sizable mineralized lithocap, which is a good indication there's a big, powerful mineral system below. We want to get to that. And I think showing that to the market, there'll be a lot of excitement, particularly with our location, being in Vicuña.
Right. Okay. And I appreciate it's early days. So it's like there's actually you've got some data available, but, the more you do, the more data you have, the better the decision making will be, obviously. For me, tell me about Argentina, because I mentioned at the outget, some people don't mind it. Some people struggle with the concept because, historically it's been a difficult place to do business. You obviously chose to walk in there and give it a go. Tell us more about operating in country. Yeah,
look, I think a renewed sense of optimism towards Argentina, but with foreign direct investment, particularly into natural resources, mining and oil and gas mainly. So I think a lot of the major mining companies are looking to get back in country. You know, some of them like Glencore, First Quantum, they already have big assets sitting there that they could develop. So I, you know, definitely a renewed interest in the sector in country, and that's definitely benefited us and other junior companies. I think people are definitely more receptive to Argentina as a jurisdiction than they were 12 months ago, even before the election, right? Since the presidential election last year, there's been renewed interest and optimism around the economy opening up and being a good place to deploy capital. So yeah, it's been good for us. And at the local government, we have very good local government support, Matthew. They've been very supportive. Everything they've said they've done on time. We actually formed a joint venture with them as well on ground around us. We optioned the ground around which they owned, and great that they gave it to us, right? I think we could have given it to a bigger company. So great to get that as well, increasing our land package to 212 square kilometers. So yeah, you know, good local relations, good support, and a lot of enthusiasm to move mining forward. This moment in time.
Right. Okay. So, and then just like, I know you said it, I'm going to ask you the question in a different way. Like say, great expectations which weren't met. Not your fault. It's just people's expectations are what they are, and you know the results are what they are. Your message to your current shareholders would be what? And message to maybe people who are not in this as a result would be what?
Yeah, like to current shareholders, I think hopefully they understand the potential that we have, and at this point in time, hopefully they feel it's a good time to add to their position and, you know, stabilize the share and move forward. And then new shareholders looking at the story, you know, we're trading sub 10 million market cap today. We have 212 square kilometers in Vicuña. We've identified a telescope system in Vicuña of scale. We've identified a large mineralized lithocap, multiple porphyry clusters around it. So, you know, really getting our teeth into a major system here, a major mineralized system, multiple events, mineralizing events taking place. So, you know, very good potential of a major discovery and really a great entry point for both new and existing investors to the story.
Right. Yeah, it reminds, I think it's a stark reminder of, you know, the journey that exploration companies go on. You know, it's not all roses all of the time, but as long as the general trend is up, things will be okay. And you just in terms of the team, can you kind of run through in terms of what you've actually got on the ground? Because I think, again, a lot of juniors try and manage these things from offices far away. So the team on the ground are comprised of what, and you know, and what's your expectation of them?
Yeah, look, we've got a very strong local Argentinian team put together by Hernan, who, you know, very experienced operator in country. So we've got his former mine manager from Yamana. We've got very senior local geologists, a lot of experience in the Andes in country. So, you know, very good in-country team, really thanks to Hernan and his relationships and experience in Argentina. So I think that's a key differentiator as well that we have compared to maybe some other juniors operating, you know, strong local presence in country from both, you know, political relations side all the way through to technical side. So yeah, very pleased with that, Matthew. You know, really, you know, a great asset to have, beautiful to have this in a junior company. And you know, yeah, first pass, okay, didn't quite meet the expectations that we had, and I think, you know, other people shared. You know, definitely has a lot of potential, but you know, unfortunately, it's going to take a little bit longer than we'd all hoped. You know, we haven't hit it out the park, unfortunately, on this first round of drilling. Like, there are a couple of holes pending. One of them, you know, we're quite optimistic on, but let's wait and see. They're shorter holes. So, like, I think, you know, we want to now digest, prepare. You know, we feel we've learned a lot, and our confidence level is higher to get those high-grade hits the market wants to see in phase two.
Okay, Michael, well, like say, it's first pass. I just wanted to kind of speak to you and sort of hear from you and get a sense of, you know, your enthusiasm or not about these things. But it'd be nice to maybe catch up with you again when the other two holes come in, and then get a sense of your plan moving this thing forward. So appreciate your time today. Thank you.
No, thanks very much, Matthew.